of like Jumanji meets a Ouija board type film. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about Beyond the Gates.
It's like a board game, you know, but you gotta watch it.
Obtaining the 4 keys allows passage beyond the gates. Only there can your father's soul be saved.
The movie is about 2 brothers who come together after their father disappears, and they are closing down the video shop that he owned, and while closing it down, they stumble upon a videotape that is connected to a sort of role-playing tabletop game. It's a very interesting movie. It's definitely kind of like Jumanji meets a Ouija board type film, which I really enjoyed. This movie did come out in 2016, so it's fairly newish. And really, in general, I thought it was a great film. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into the things I liked and disliked about this film. So starters for the likes, the storyline. I think that it was an awesome concept for a film. It's definitely something new, something I had never really seen done before. You know, there's so many Ouija board type films, the Ouija series in general. But this was done differently. Instead of having a Ouija board, you have some sort of mysterious role-playing board, and they're basically forced to play or they'll die. There's no way of getting out of it. They even at one point try to throw the game out, and of course it pops back up, very much like a Ouija board would do. And yeah, overall, just the idea of the movie I thought was awesome. My next favorite thing about this film was the kills. They are super unique. So while they're playing the game, they have to collect these keys. And when they collect the keys, it leads to someone they know's death. It is a bit of an odd thing from the viewer's perspective, because people that get killed aren't necessarily great people. So you don't fully feel horrible for them. Like, I mean, they're dying, so you do still kind of, hopefully. But you feel for the brothers and the brother's fiance, who is also playing in the game, because they have to see the people, or know that they killed the people that they care about and that they love. And even if those people kind of suck. So I definitely think it's a really awesome way to kill off people without having a killer. And they're not necessarily forced to, wield the knife, so to speak, themselves, but they are still responsible. They still make that decision and choice to take other lives instead of dying themselves. It's pretty fucked up. My next like, and I will say I have a short list of likes. It's not that I didn't really like the film, because I really did. These are just kind of my highlight points. The Margot character, the oldest brother's fiance. She is an awesome character in this, in my opinion. I feel like so many times the girlfriend of a main character in these types of movies, she's kind of annoying. She usually, isn't very nice, doesn't believe what's going on, but she's awesome. She stands by him. She participates in the game. She realizes kind of how important playing this game is to him, whether or not he wants to admit it, because, and I don't think I mentioned it yet, because part of their real motivation for the game is not necessarily to survive themselves, but they're actually trying to find their father, because they know that he has played the game, and so that's really their motivation behind it. So, phone stopped recording while I was in the middle of talking about that, so I'm just gonna keep going from what I can, because I don't script, I just ramble. So I do apologize if this next somewhat doesn't match where it cut off. I watched what I had to try and, see. So I know I was talking about thinking Margot was a great character, and that was kind of the end of my list of likes, which really was more so just the highlight of likes that I had. It's not a reflection of, this movie not being great, because I do really like the film. I think it's a great film. That's just my highlighted likes. So I'm going to go ahead and get into my dislikes. What I disliked about this film. Again, not a large list, happily, but it was slow to get to the kills. It's about 40 minutes before you see the first body drop. Now, granted, you do know that there's obviously something going on with the father. He's missing, but the first victim, first actual person you see killed on screen isn't until 40 minutes into the film. And the thing with that, with it taking so long, is I feel like if they had started the killing sooner, they could have had more, which means more awesome kills, because they were so creative and so great. But instead you end up with just these kind of 4 main ones, which, the focus of the movie really is not on the kills. It really is on the people and, the game itself. So they're not a main focus point, so it makes sense that there wouldn't be as many. But I definitely think it would have been very interesting to see what other ways they could have come up with. Next thing, the acting. It's not that it was so horrible that you can't make it through the movie. It was mediocre. And really for basically everybody except for Margot. The actress that plays her I have seen in some other things. Mostly just recognize her face, couldn't really think of off the top of my head. And I'll probably include it in post, so I'm sure it'll be on the screen somewhere. But for me, she did a great job. Everyone else was just kind of blah. And it may not have even been the acting, it could have been some of the writing, which really kind of brings me to my next point of just how boring the older brother was. So there's a lot of focus put on him throughout this movie, and he is just kind of boring. He's very tightened up, the responsible, has a life together one. Well, of course, the younger one's the fuck up, which is very often stereotype in films that as the youngest of 2, I feel personally attacked. I have an older sister. And yeah, I'm just well, that's very accurate but rude stereotype. No, slightly kidding. Anyway, so yeah, older brother, just kind of boring. Younger brother, not much personality. There's 40 minutes, first 40 minutes of this film with no death. I feel like they could have given us a little more on the brothers. You definitely find out stuff. There's a scene where the youngest brother and the Margot character, and see, I can't even remember the 2 brothers' names, are talking about their childhood and growing up. So you feel kind of bad for them with that whole situation, but really just the older brother's just boring. And again, that could be part of the writing. And then the younger brother, not a lot of personality to him, which I know you're probably thinking, well, wouldn't that be kind of the same thing, make them both boring? But not really. You still, and maybe it's because I am a younger sibling, I still feel for the brother, but they don't give him much personality to work with. And I think it's because there's so much focus put on the older brother. So I just wish that was kind of better, maybe not so much focus on the older brother, or make him a little less, or had made him a little less boring. They really focused on that guy. I don't know. Maybe he's a higher bill, but who knows. Anyway, but yeah, those are really mainly my only complaints for this film. Like I said, I really, really liked it. I did watch this on Netflix in the US, so I don't know where else in the country it is available. If it is, available in your country, comment below what country you're in. And because I don't believe it's a Netflix movie, it's just like a movie on there. But if you've seen Beyond the Gates, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you did enjoy this, please do give it a big old thumbs up and make sure to hit that subscribe button for more horror related content. Try ringing the bell for notifications if it works. And before I go, a quick shout out to my Patreons. Thank you guys so much for all of your support on the channel. It means the world to me. If you want to know the perks to being a Patreon, link is in the description below, along with all my social media. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys later with another video.